Hello, 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 and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. Um, Trying to see if I can get the light a little bit. Lord. Alrighty. Just gonna give it a few minutes and see if anybody's gonna join me. If not, it'll be uploaded. Whew. Ay, ay, ay. Hello, whoever came in. There was the energies are kind of feels like they're all over the place, if that makes any sense. But I wanted to start off with certain things that were happening today. The way the messages, I guess, are coming in at the time are different. And it first started with feeling like you're being blinded, let's put it this way. So I literally felt as if somebody was putting something over my eyes to kind of keep me from seeing, let's put it this way. And I was kind of like in the trying to figure out what did that mean? Like, why are my eyes being covered? And I just kind of let that sit there for most of the day today. But then I went back outside and I was looking, I was taking the dogs out and I was looking at the sky. And like in the far end, there was this accumulation that looked kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like in movies and things like that, where they have like the sandstorms, right? So it basically looked like there was like a sandstorm coming. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, okay. And I'm just kind of like allowing everything to kind of come and trying to see exactly what is trying to be revealed to me during this time. Let's put it that way. What is the message that I'm supposed to bring forth? Then I come inside and one of my daughters says that it hurts right here, right in the middle of her chest. And I'm like, okay. So I told her, I was like, go take a quick shower and come to my room. And she did. I got some plain lotion. I just put it in my hand, and as I was putting it in my hand, I was just kind of like feeling the lotion and stuff. And I placed my hand on her chest, right in the middle, right where it hurt, and in her back. And I tried to adjust her to align her body to her natural posture. And then I guided her through some simple breathing techniques. And she looks at me and she smiles and she's like, "Thank you. I'm all better." And she walks away. Then, out of nowhere, she comes into the kitchen and she's like, "I'm so emotional. I hate being emotional." And then she walks away. So, like 5 or 10 minutes later, I was asking her, like, how her chest pain was feeling and, how her emotions are feeling. And she's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, yeah, the reason why I asked was like a confirmation that that was a message either coming from, um, from for what some people are going to experience or for what some people are going to be feeling like. Let's put it that way. Then the boys get into an argument over something silly. But I was asking certain questions because I kind of wanted to see what the core issue was, right? And it had mainly the entire core issue of the argument was one not respecting the other one's authority or the other one's right. So someone asked someone something, they said no, and they didn't want to accept the no. So I was like, huh. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to get ready to bed. And it's like, nope, you're going to go live. And I'm like, really? And I was, you know what, let's just go ahead and go live. So whatever it is that is coming within, and I was picking it up and I'm like, okay, is this going to be something that is going to be long term or is this something that is going to be short term, if that makes any sense? Like if this is just the energy between now and the new moon. And it was like, yes, the new moon, but not this one, the next one. So whatever the new moon is in August. So it's going to be between now and the new moon in August. And I was like, okay. And what is happening is that the amount of distraction for those that have been that are trying, let's say, to help others, whether it is that you do readings or whatever it is that you do, to try and help others kind of become aware of things, or helping them through the awakening process, or whatever it is. There's going to be kind of like this energy of really trying very hard to try and distract people from getting the things that they have to get done, in an effort to keep as many people as possible held back. Now, I was like, okay, then I was like, all right, I kind of get that. I can see how that can kind of, be what's going on. But the thing is that as this storm is, like, I'm going to call it the desert storm, because that's what it felt like. It felt like the perfect storm, let's put it this way. And it's about confusing those that have been working on themselves. So it's like it's going to affect those that have gotten to a certain point spiritually, those that have done the work on themselves, those that have actually gone inward and done that work, versus those that haven't. So those that have actually gone in and done the work, those that are aware and of what is going on, let's put it that way, are going to have like an elevation once the storm is has passed through. But as the storm is in place, and this is more like a spiritual storm, if that makes any sense. But as the storm is taking place, you have to make sure that you are very diligent when it comes to your spiritual routine, when it comes to your spiritual belief, when it comes to what it is that you're doing on a daily basis. Because any little distraction can throw you off the entire day. When it comes to picking up on other people's energies and other people's feelings and things like that, make sure that you are not observing. Is that what I'm trying to say? You're not taking their energy in as your own, but instead you are using that power within you to help others calm down, to help others overcome their current challenges, because you have already been in that position. You have already been in that space. Now, when it comes to speaking out, when it comes to connecting with others, if they're not in alignment with you, it's going to be noticeable very easily. And the thing is, you are not, while the storm is going through, you are not to force or try and force anybody to believe or to follow what it is that you're doing. Because then you're going to get caught up in the storm itself. Let's put it that way. So it is about you coming forth, bringing the message, helping those that are asking for help, or that are willing to go ahead and change whatever it is that they have to change in their lives, right? All of those that have repeatedly gotten the message to go inward, to start healing, to start working on themselves, to start letting things go, to try and get themselves out of those lower vibrational, that have been continuously rejecting or have continuously been pushing them aside or ignoring them, they are going to be, first of all, they're going to realize, or their eyes are going to be opened to the things that they follow. Meaning, the binge drinking, the this, the that. And again, having a glass of wine is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about individuals that literally drink to the point where they numb themselves. So, or, they do drugs or whatever to the point where they don't want to feel any pains and they don't want to feel any emotion. And that's what I was kind of feeling when Hazel was telling me. She was like, I don't want to feel my emotions. And it's like they're fighting not wanting to feel their emotions. They're fighting not wanting to deal with those wounds that they have been carrying on for so long. But it's like, during this storm that is coming, it's like you're going to have to face it whether you want to or not. You're going to have to, and it's like if you don't do it willingly, then we're going to show you. We're going to show you. You're going to be shown exactly what it is that you have been breathing in as far as life, what it is that you have been allowing into yourself, what it is that you have been allowing into your life, into your space, what it is that is driving you, or what it is that has been pushing you forward to go in these directions where you're doing things, you're saying things, and when you're confronted about them, you have no recollection of what you said or what you did. So a lot of people a lot of people that are in position that are here to help others, is like everybody's being unmasked completely, like to the core. And those that are or have been in a place of kind of working behind the scenes, have been working to really help others kind of grow and release certain things. And those that have been fighting battles and, wars and things that nobody has been aware of, those individuals, whether they speak it out, whether they say it, just by the way that they carry themselves, just by the way that they interact with others, just by the way that they speak, is going to be known. So it's like it's like the light is shining, but the light is coming from very specific individuals that are put in place during this time. And it's going to piss off a lot of people, because the thing is that these very specific individuals that have been put in place to help those not get distracted during the storm are kind of like what you would call like the underdog, are kind of like the ones that really have just been kind of like type of thing, and just have been doing what it is that they're supposed to do, doing what it is that intuitively they've been guided to do. And the reason why they have been and I feel that this has been a build up for those specific individuals where you have been working steadily. You have been going through different phases of your awakening, like time after time after time. Like literally, it's like you have been doing all of this work within yourself to get to this position now where all of those that are connecting with you, all of those that are around you, it's like you're their beacon of light. You are their hope. It's like they're looking at you, not the physical you, as hope. Like if they were able to get themselves out of the situation, if they were able to get to the place where they're at, that inner peace, that inner, like, that self-love, that inner love, like it's like, and it's going to be very, very challenging for everyone. There's not going to be one person that is going to be, let's say, excluded during this time, but you will be able to see who has been practicing their, let's say, their spiritual routine on a daily basis. You will be able to notice who is in it to help others versus those who are in it just for self gain. Let's put it that way. You are going to be able to distinguish the difference between the ones that you should be connecting with versus the ones that you're no longer in those spaces and you have to walk away from. And it's going to be so crystal clear that even though, like, that's what I was like, that's what I was trying to figure out, because as the eyes were being covered, it's like your physical eyes are not what is needed at the time to see through the storm. It is your intuition that is going to guide you through. So it doesn't really matter if your eyes are being covered or they're trying to cover your eyes to say, like, you're trying to put a bandana or something not to get any dust in your eyes, because that is not what is going to lead you. That is not what is going to get you through the storm. It is that inner peace, that inner connection that you have with God, with the universe, with spirit, that is going to get you through this time. And unfortunately, the past, anybody that when, let's put it this way, trying to word it correctly, anyone that within the past 3 to 4 months, period, I'm talking about like in the past 3 to 4 months, went into connections with other individuals to not do the work within themselves, to not go ahead and see what it is that they were being asked to heal. All of those individuals, those connections that they connect themselves with are going to be kind of like their downfall. Is going to be what is gonna either push them to the edge where they're either going to want to give up with life in general, or they're actually going to push through and start working on themselves. So again, it's going to be the timeline that I'm picking up is between now and the new moon in August, not this new moon coming up in July. But again, throughout this storm, regardless of whatever it is that you're not able to see with your physical eyes, just know that your physical eyes are not what you're meant to follow. Because there's a lot of things that are being used as distraction to help keep you silent, to help keep you stuck. And you have to go ahead and do what it is that you are being asked to do. And the thing is that, a lot of people feel that getting, let's say, readings, and there's nothing wrong with getting readings. The thing is, are you getting a reading so that are you getting a reading with the intention to know what somebody else is doing or somebody's coming towards you? Or are you doing a reading to see what it is that your intuition, your soul is trying to tell you to do? What energies are you trying to get out of that maybe you are not noticing? So if you're going to spend the money on getting readings, if you're going to spend the money on anything, spend it on something that's going to help you grow. Spend it on something that's going to help you evolve. Maybe give you the clarity on something that you are not seeing at the time. Because the time to worry about what your ex or whomever, whatever they're doing, it is just doing, especially between now and, like I said, the new moon in August, that is just a distraction to stop you from really pushing forth during this time. And I don't know who isn't like who, there's somebody who your spirit animals, or you have been having dreams or something with beetles. There is beetles, black, like the little tiny ones, the huge ones, and just a lot of beetles. And it's like, I don't know much about them. I read something real quick about, in ancient Egypt. And again, do not quote me on it because I didn't even check to see if the sources were correct or not. But beetles are supposed to be like they're supposed to be like protective or something like that, or to kind of protect you so that you can keep moving forward or keep going forward. It was something like that I read. But whoever it is that is into beetles, or beetles are your spiritual animal, or whatever the case may be, maybe you have been dreaming about beetles or whatever, maybe this is a message for you. Now, the other thing that I was sensing when I was like, within the vision that I was having is there's like a court. So, when you go into a courtroom, you have, let's say that if you're going in for like, a crime or whatever, you have the jury, your peers that are judging you, and then you have a judge, and then you have the lawyer that's defending you versus the prosecutor that's trying to prosecute you. And it's like, as the storm is going through, as we're going through the storm that is approaching us, It is basically, that's what is happening. It's like the storm itself is a representation of the core. The storm itself is a representation of you being judged based on your actions. Hello, Sabrina. So, you can see the prosecutors, you can say the prosecutors are, those that are attacking or those that are trying to distract you, where your jury is the ones that are going to judge you, or those that are trying to listen to what you're saying. And then you yourself are your own attorney. You yourself are representing yourself, but you're representing yourself with the knowing that you have your connection to God, to spirit, to the universe, with your knowing that the words that are coming out of your mouth are being guided by something, by someone greater than you are. And that your purpose here in life is not to come in and judge, is not to come in and try and force someone to bend to what it is that you want, but instead to go ahead and be the example of that you want to see. Be the example so that others that are seeing you, others that are watching you, can get themselves out of that. It was like that's how the day started, actually, with the spider. So the spider, like, uh and so there's so many people that are stuck in these, like, in these like these spider webs and things, that literally, yes, you were meant to be there. Hi, Leo. um Catching up. Yeah, you were meant to be in those, in that spider web for a while, so that you can learn, so that you can start seeing things clearly for what they were. But once you learn the lessons you learned within those, like within that web, you were to come out, so that then you can make a way, you can make a path for those that are coming after you, for those that have been waiting for you. Because so many people right now are so consumed with so much, not what is so much going on with just, like, with the what is it called, coronavirus, and the this, and all of this other stuff that is going around, but in their immediate family, in their immediate home, people are struggling just to catch a breath, just to kind of have that reconnection with themselves, because they're so worried about, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And it's like, instead of allowing themselves to be led through faith, they're being led through the fear that they're not going to make it through. And if you're in a space like that at the moment, I don't even want to imagine what's going to happen between now and new moon in August, because it is going to get emotionally, if you're not balanced within yourself, the emotions, like the energies that like the emotions that these energies are bringing in, can make anybody go crazy, can make anybody really doubt who they are. So again, I cannot stress it enough. You need to listen to your own intuition. What is your body asking you to do? What is it that you're being asked to do? What is your path? And then I was wearing this shirt and I was like, I really should take this shirt off. And it says, I'll do it mañana, which is like, I'll do it tomorrow. And I was like, no, I'm going to wear it, because it's like, this mentality, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it mañana, is what we need to get out of. If you have something that you know that you have to do, then it doesn't really matter what is going around you. You have to get it done. Because I'm pretty sure that if you go to work, if you work for someone else, let's put it this way, and you clock in, you're not just going to go and clock in and hang out. You have to get your work done, whether you're in a bad mood, a good mood, whether you are arguing with, you having issues in your personal life or not. Regardless of anything, you go in and you do the work that you have to do. So why are you selling yourself short? And when it comes to do the work within you, when it comes to do the work that you're being guided to do for your own benefit, you go ahead and you put it off. How is it that something outside of you, how is it that a job that pays you to be there is more important than doing the work within yourself, which is going to free you? You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys get what I'm saying, because it's definitely coming in very, A lot of people are going to be thrown off balance. Um, and those of you that have been working there, like I said, there's a leveling up after this storm passes. Like through the storm is the leveling up is happening, but you may not see the results until afterwards, if that makes any sense. Or when it's completely done is when you're going to realize like the leveling up that you have gotten to within yourself and within everything that we call life, or the world that we live in and things like that. And just be very mindful that as you're in the storm, one of the things that is going to be mainly showing up, let's put it that way, is the forcing, the wanting to force others either to pick a side on something or to force. And I mean, we're already seeing a lot of that during this current time, but it's going to get 10 times worse than what it is. And then the reason is that whatever it is behind those energies, know that their time is running out, knows that the storm, or the court time, the judgment is here. So as many people as can be kept behind, then the more power that there is over the masses, over the population. And yes, it may be a scary time to kind of go ahead against everyone or against what everybody is following and things like that. But where is it that you see yourself, a year from now, 5 years from now? Do you see yourself being stuck in the same position? Do you want to be in the same space? Do you want to be doing the same thing? Do you want to keep on getting the same results? Or are you ready to really stand in your authority and your power over your life so that you can go ahead and reap those rewards, those blessings that you have sacrificed so much for, because you knew, it's like something inside of you knew that everything that you went through was going to be worth it. Now, the question is, are you ready to go ahead and take control of your life, or are you going to stay stuck where you are? That's really it. Like, it's, and people may be looking at you and people may be like, what are you talking about? You look crazy. You're saying some crazy stuff, or that's not true. And it's this back and forth with arguing and everybody wanting to be right. And if you always think about it and you keep it in your mind, you keep it within yourself, that everybody has their own perception based on what they experience. And only those that choose to go within themselves, they have to choose, they have to willingly want to stop living the life that they are living in order to change. And it is not up to any of us to force anyone to change. All we can do is, again, be the example of what working within yourself, what facing your shadow, what balancing your light and your dark within yourself, what it reaps, so that maybe when they're ready or when they are led to, then they themselves can do the same. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out 3 oracle cards. I'm using the Isis oracle cards. We're going to go ahead and pull one for your challenge, or what the challenge has been in the recent past when you have been in, let's say, similar situations where you're going through certain transformations or certain times or moments in your life that are definite, that kind of changes the course of what is to come. This is kind of like when we talk about, what is it called? Oh, I can't think of that card, the tarot card, the wheel. What is it called? You guys know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name right now. The wheel, whatever. And it's like you have the power and you have the authority right now to turn the wheel in your favor, to go ahead and not get stuck with those individuals that they really just don't want to. They find that working on yourself is too much work. Um, Maybe the rewards that they receive from staying stuck and keeping other people stuck is worth their while. But is it worth your while to keep getting stuck for individuals that really do not care? That is your advice. And then we have one more for the outcome. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you the cards. So, and it's funny because it's like the high priestess is the challenge, or what could be the challenge during this time. And mysteries revealed in the eye of Isis. And look at that card. Look how beautiful that card is. And, if we look at the high priestess and we look at her just as a feminine, expressing herself, being herself, speaking out, and standing for what it is that she believes, standing for what it is that she feels that she's being guided to, whether you are a male or female. But this is about really owning your feminine energy during this time and knowing that it is time for you to stand in your own power, in your own authority, because what has been revealed to you up to this time, yes, it may have scared you, but it has definitely allowed you to grow. It has definitely allowed you to overcome a lot of things that you probably at some point didn't even think you were going to be able to overcome. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the message for this one. Again, this is the challenge of staying in this high priestess energy as we're going through the storm. Let's see. I think I have one more page. High priestess. All right. Beloved Isis gazes upon you now, and behind her vast eyes, mysteries are unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. It is an exciting moment in your unfoldment. Have reverence and an open heart and mind, and wait patiently for her grand revelation that is on its way. So during this time, the only challenge that I can really see is really staying connected and really following like your own intuition versus following what others are telling you to do. Um, And I mean, if you have been doing that work, if you have been putting in that work in yourself on a daily basis, if you know what balance feels like for you, if you're able to recognize the subtle changes in your body and this and that, then I feel that this is not so much as it's not going to be as much of a challenge for you during this time. There may be some that are still having a little struggle within finding that balance within themselves, and this is the opportunity or the chance for them to finally get that balance and stay in that place. The advice is divine destiny, path of the divine warrior. So when I see this, it's like, again, whoever it is that is being there, it's like literally, it's like there are people that are being, it's like they're being noticed for who they truly are in both aspects of the way. Those that have been either trying to stop others from growing or trying to stop others from seeing things clearly. And it doesn't have to be like, people that are doing tarot or anything like that, just people in general, individuals that you see every day, that you interact with every day and things like that. And the energies, the spirits, like things that are around them that were meant in a way to kind of try to keep you down or try to keep you stuck, but not in a way like like the way that I look at it is like it's not about so much about looking at it in a negative way. It is about getting you to a place where you're able to recognize, so that this way you're able to grow through it instead of allowing yourself to keep on going through those lessons, if that makes sense. So the divine warrior guides you to your divine destiny. The divine warrior energy exists within men and women as an inner propulsion to continue with a worthy path, even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It may be more wisdom, focus, intelligence, and surrender into the divine. The warrior within has a great inner resourcefulness and determination. That part of you will lead you to spiritual success. So that's your advice. Your advice is that, regardless of how hard it may be during this time, to stay focused and to keep on doing what it is that you're guided to do. Make sure that you're staying in place. Make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do. Like myself, I wanted to go to sleep because I said I was going to go to sleep at a certain time to get up at a certain time. And now it's like, I know I'm going to get up at the time I want to get up. And I know that I'm going to get the rest that I want to get, because I am doing what I intuitively feel that I have to be doing, right? All right. So then we have the outcome is initiation, spiritual testing of Ra and the Lady Isis. So this is the outcome. And again, I feel that either the clarity as to why you went, that's like more what I'm picking up before I read the definition in the book. It's like, once we're out of this energy and stuff like that, it's like, even if you're getting the blessings and the rewards throughout this journey, because I feel that throughout the journey between now and the new moon in August, there are a lot of excuse me, a lot of blessings, a lot of things that are coming in that maybe people they just don't get it. Like, how are you getting this or that with everything that's going on? But it's like, you're like, you need to be in a space or a place of receiving the blessings that are coming in, regardless of how unfair you may think that it is that you're getting these blessings versus other people during this time. Because the thing is that as you're getting these blessings, as you're manifesting, as you're getting all of these things during this time, that is kind of I want to say it's like part of your legacy, so that when this period or this time is over, those that either didn't like do what they were asked to do, then are going to see what working on yourself, or following your intuition even when it's hard, gets you, if that makes any sense. And it's also happening so that those that are kind of like back and forth, like, yeah, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Like, it's like the blessings or the manifestations that are coming in are to give them the confirmation to finally put their foot down and be like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to follow through with this, if that makes sense. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and read this one. Initiation. When you are being spiritually initiated into the mystery of light, love, and power, there are moments of deep challenge. The key is to find the light within the challenge, the learning, growth, or wisdom that can be summoned to turn the challenge into an opportunity for healing. Whistle the scorching heat of Ra. Seeks to burn through any resistance. The Lady Isis, with compassion and cleverness, will protect you from burning and instead enable you to be nourished and grow from the light of Ra. Let Isis help you pass the test of intense growth as you thrive with new life. So maybe in the past, doing certain things, whether it is that you wanted to start a business, whatever it is that you're being guided to do. Maybe in the past, when you were done with all your day-to-day basis, your day-to-day things, and you started working on what you wanted to work on, then you would feel, let's say, drained, or you will feel this, or you will feel like, you will have the lack of motivation and this and that. And it's like, during this time, it's like, have faith that you're going to get the same rest that, let's say, if you slept 8 or 10 hours, let's just put it out there. Lucky you if you do. But no, honestly, usually when I sleep 8 or 10 hours is because something, I know I'm going to be up for like a couple of days with like minimal, like barely any sleep. But then again, like, I know my body. But what I'm trying to say is like, just know that if you're somebody that is used to sleeping 8 hours, and let's say between now and the new moon in August, you're only sleeping 3 or 4 hours or 2 hours or whatever it is, you're still going to have the same amount of rest. So the rest, because it's not the sleep that you need, because you can have a lot of sleep. And when it comes to quality, and I've talked about that, and you can go on my other YouTube channel to where I speak about the narcolepsy and how it has affected my life and things that I've had to do to kind of like overcome that, and to it really pushed me and forced me into getting to know my body. But what I'm trying to say is like, the quantity of hours that you're getting is not the point, because you can sleep 12, 15 hours and wake up like you freaking had a truck run you over. But then you can sleep a couple of hours and feel completely refreshed. So just know that the time, because I feel that a lot of people are stuck on wanting to have a certain amount of hours of sleep. And it's like, even if you're just getting 4 hours of sleep, you are going to have enough rest to keep the momentum going for whatever it is that you're working during this time. Now, as you're working on whatever it is that you are being guided to do, make sure that you are, how can I put it this way? It's not about you not sharing it with anyone. It's about make sure that you have the finished product, if that makes any sense, before you share it with anyone. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Well, guys, it is 12:44. As always, I want to go ahead and say thank you for all the love and support. Somebody dropped something in the kitchen. I think this the dogs, kids. Yeah, the kids. Anyways, the dogs are still up. Everybody's still up. It's no school, right? Anyways, guys, again, thank you for all the love and support. And I'll see you guys real soon. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing. Take care. You're welcome, Leo. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. Take care, and let's, you hear them, and it's like, I'll go out there and I'm like, what's going on? And nobody knows what's going on. But, it is what it is. That is one of my kids have always been my distraction. And I know that. So I had to learn how to manage certain situations. Not manage them, but manage the situations that are going around. Well, guys, I'm really going to go ahead and see what is going on with those boys. Take care, guys. Love you guys. Bye-bye. And we're going to end it. And